So I want to talk about this further with the president of WorkingNation, Jane Oates. She's also a former U.S. Department of Labor official and served during the Obama administration. So Jane, thank you so much for being with us. I want to ask you about people quitting and are they going back to work? Are they just finding other jobs? I mean, is this a pandemic issue that really ended up highlighting an issue that had been existing all along?
Thanks, Christy, so much for having me. And thanks for talking about this subject. I think that, normally we have to remember some things. This number, while it's really high, is only 3% of the workforce. And we normally see a quit rate of about 3 million a month. I mean, during the Great Recession, when I was at labor, as you mentioned, nobody was leaving their job. It dipped under 2 million for the first time. So I think partly this is a normal process, but I think there are certain things that are pushing the number up. You think about the kids who graduated from college or high school in 2019 and 2020. They had no opportunities. The labor market was pretty stagnant at that point. So they took jobs that were not what they wanted. And I think we're seeing a lot of that there. Instead of, people talking about the Great Resignation, this is really a reset. This is people who took jobs during the recession to get by, to make ends meet. And now they're looking to restart their career.
So I know that we've heard how employers have had to reconfigure employment for Americans, work from home and modifying hours and whatnot. Is that sustainable?
So, look, I think it's really positive that for the first time, people seem to be considering, employers seem to be considering workers' needs, more flexibility, certainly higher pay. We're seeing that. But they're looking at how do people like to work? You mentioned remote working, but also giving them some flexibility in their hours so that they can get a better balance between their home life and their professional life. So I think employers are looking at that. But what I think is really exciting is that employers are really starting to invest in workers. You read a lot of stories, you hear a lot on your station about employers who are using education as a benefit, helping employees earn more by learning more. That's a great positive for us as a nation in terms of our workforce. Now, I don't want to leave this question without saying a lot easier for a large employer to have the resources to do that. I do worry that small employers are having a difficult time keeping up. So they've got to figure out another way to define flexibility that isn't as expensive, as their larger employers can afford.
I understand that retail and manufacturing sectors have been really struggling here to find good workers. Why those industries in particular are having such a problem?
Wow, you are so good. I mean, I want to start with manufacturing because people have this crazy myth that manufacturing is dirty and dark and dangerous. I mean, advanced manufacturing in the United States today is almost like working in an operating room. They're doing advanced skill level tasks. They're working in teams. They're working side by side with robots and automation. It's an exciting place to solve a problem. And by the way, manufacturing jobs are just such good jobs. You can, if you're in a time when you need to make more money, you can work double shifts. You make a great salary with a great benefit package with small, medium, and large size employers. So I think that's a category in itself. Let's debunk that myth. These are great jobs. Retail, has always had a lot of churn. While they have great jobs, they've always been a catalyst for people to get their first job or to build a work history. So I think, unfortunately, for a lot of retail employers, whether they're selling clothing or the ones we're most familiar with, grocery stores, they end up giving people opportunity. And part of it is, yes, they'd like to retain their great workforce, but they also recognize that they launch people onto careers in every
Hmm.
sector.
Yeah. Jane Oates, we appreciate so much that you took time to talk to us. Really learned something from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.